Hello and welcome. You're watching Next IAS English, your one-step destination for high-quality, concept-driven explanations for your UPSC prep. Now, today we are diving into a fascinating biodiversity update from Africa. One that looks small on the surface but is incredibly significant from ecological, scientific as well as UPSC examination perspective. So, let's understand what that is. In a dense rainforest of Uganda, scientists have discovered 7 brand new species of insects that astonishingly resemble frogs. You can see it here. Now, in their structure, there aren't just any other insect. They belong to a genus that hasn't had new African species identified in more than 4 decades. Their discovery tells us how underexplored tropical ecosystems still are and why taxonomy remains crucial for conservation policy. So, let's break this down step by step. First of all, let's talk about the introduction and context behind this whole species thing. So firstly, you can see the pictures of the species that have been displayed in the PPT. You can see that, and we need to understand the broader context. A research team led by Dr. Alvin Helder from Anglia Ruskin University in Cambridge conducted biodiversity fieldwork in Uganda's tropical forest. Now, during this fieldwork that they did, they identified 7 completely new species, and they belonged to genus Batracormophus. These insects are tiny, but their discovery is huge because the last time Batracormophus species was newly recorded from Africa was back in 1981. Okay, and essentially for 44 long years this genus has no new addition from the African continent. That suggests not only how rare these insects are, but also how little exploration has happened in certain ecological niches of Africa. Moving forward, let's talk about what are these insects. Now let us understand what exactly are these insects. They look like frog, but what exactly are they? Before going further, let's understand that. So these insects actually, they are type of a leaf hopper. Now leaf hopper, and they belong to the family of Cisadelidae. And they are small insects that feed on plant sap. They use piercing sucking mouth parts to extract nutrients from leaves and stems. But their ecological role is much larger than their size. Leaf hoppers often act as indicators of forest health. Their presence or absence can actually reveal a lot about a plant diversity from microclimate and ecological balance as well. So when a new set of leaf hopper species is discovered, it hints that the surrounding ecosystem is far more complex than previously recorded. Alright, so let's move forward and talk about why they are frog-like. Now let us understand why the species look frog-like. Why are these insects described as frog-like? Now the reason lies in both the etymology and their physical structure as well. So let us understand what their physical structure is. The name Batracormophus comes from Greek. Now batrakos means frog and morphe, form of a shape. So that's what it means, and remarkably these insects actually display frog-like features. You can see they look frog-like. They have green coloration and that resembles small tree frogs. Okay, bulging eyes resembling amphibians, so they have some common eyes, elongated hind legs adapted for strong sudden jumps. Okay, and then they have a resting posture where the hind legs fold tightly alongside the body, exactly like how frogs tuck their legs when they sit motionless on leaves. Okay, so it's not a metaphor, it's a literal morphological resemblance. This makes them visually distinct compared to normal leaf hoppers. Moving forward, let's talk about scientific significance. Now let us understand what is the scientific significance behind the leaf hoppers. This discovery is actually scientifically significant for multiple reasons. Why? Because globally about 375 species of genus Batracormophus were known earlier. Finding 7 new species from a single rainforest region is very impressive and unexpected. Now, it shows that African rainforests hold enormous hidden diversity. Many species remain undiscovered simply because there hasn't been enough systematic taxonomic exploration. Even in 2025, field-based taxonomy going into forests, collecting specimens and analyzing them remains irreplaceable. Alright, and moreover, this also is like the previous global distribution was scattered with only 2 species recorded from the UK. This irregular distribution pattern tells us that there are still large gaps in our knowledge of the genus evolutionary history. Okay. Moving forward, let's understand discovery site and methods. Now let us understand what the discovery site was, where was it found and what are the methods. Let's talk about that. So it was found in Uganda's Kibale National Park. Now this is the national park where it has been found, and this is in Uganda. It is a rainforest known for its primates including chimpanzees and rare monkeys. But what's really special, what's especially relevant here is the altitude. Now the insects were collected at high above 1500 meters, which places them inside cloud forest or high altitude tropical rainforest. These regions often host species that are not found anywhere else in the world. Okay, and the research team used light traps, a common entomological tool. These traps use artificial light to attract insects during night time. Many rainforest insects, especially leaf hoppers, are nocturnal and get easily drawn to bright light. So the researchers set up these traps at night, collected the specimens and brought them to lab settings for microscopic examination. Okay. Moving forward, let us understand the research challenges. Now let us understand what are the research challenges, what happens when you research about it. See, identifying new insect species is not very easy, especially within the genus Batracormophus. This group is known for extreme morphological similarity. Many species look almost identical to the naked eye. If you will see one species, you will feel like, okay, it is a normal species. So the researchers had to examine minute patterns on the wings, minute patterns on the wings, fine details of the leg structure, genitalia structure, a key element in insect taxonomy, tiny differences in the coloration and the body type also. Every new species had to be carefully compared with documented global species which have already been there, and this process is slow, meticulous, microscopic and extremely technical. So it also highlights how challenging taxonomy really is and why taxonomists are indispensable for biodiversity science. Moving forward, let us talk about the publication and global impact. Now what will be the global impact? So the results were published in the journal Zootaxa, which is one of the world's leading journals for taxonomy. Now publication is in such journal means the species are now officially recognized and added to the global scientific records. Now the discovery matters globally because there are multiple reasons to it. The first one is it helps refine biodiversity database. So for biodiversity records, it strengthens it, informs conservation, prioritization, knowing what species exist in the first step to protecting them. Okay. And then it highlights the fragility of rainforests since these species may be endemic to very small regions. Now, at a time when climate change, deforestation and habitat fragmentation are shrinking rainforest ecosystems worldwide, every new species discovery acts as a reminder that we may lose species even before discovering them. So, this is not just a scientific milestone, it's also a conservation warning as well. Okay? Moving forward, let's talk about the UPSC relevance of this topic. Now, why this is relevant in civil services, let us understand that. So, for prelims, the important topics or the important keywords that you need to do a thorough research on are biodiversity, leaf hoppers, taxonomy, light trap and Kibale National Park. All these are very important for prelims perspective. Now let us understand the mains perspective. So certain keywords that you need to do a thorough research on are conservation, importance of taxonomy, biodiversity hotspots, ecological field research, And there are certain other keywords also that you should just have a look at. It's Batracormophis, frog-like insect, Uganda, Zootaxa, species discovery, tropical rainforest ecology. So all these are keywords that you need to do a thorough research on. This case study was a real world example of undocumented biodiversity, the role of research institutions, the importance of preserving habitats before they disappear. So I think we have covered the major portion of this, and now I would like to ask you a question. In which national park was this new species discovered, and it was discovered by the scientist of which university? Now I want you to answer that in the comment section below. We have already discussed that in the video. Let's see who was listening attentively. And that is it for today. I think we've covered multiple dimensions of this video. I will see you in another deep dive video. Until then, bye bye. Take care.